Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Zach Winnick. You are listening to episode 2 of the Rivian Clubs of America podcast for January 24th, 2025. Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is Zach Winnick of the Bay Area Rivian Club, as well as the Rivian Clubs of America tech team. Welcome to the second episode of the Rivian Clubs of America podcast for the week ending in January 24th, 2025. Can you believe that this month is almost over? Like, it just started. What? So we have a special episode coming out on Monday that I will take the time to recap the events of this upcoming weekend, where I will be at the grand opening of the Rivian San Francisco space. There's a couple of other really cool things going on before that I can't talk about until Monday. So we will talk on Monday about all the fun stuff. And then we'll also talk about the space opening. How about that? But then all of that to say that the episode following that, the next full episode, I should say, will be the last one for January. It's going to come out on January 31st. That's insane. Anyway, I'll let that settle in. Not a lot of Rivian news this week. There has been a few things, though, that I wanted to share with you all before we get into some Rivian Clubs of America news and events. So the first big piece of news is that Edmunds has rated the 2025 R1T as the top-rated electric truck for the year. How about that? So basically, they're saying that the acceleration, the driving, the handling, the improved software, the updated powertrains, all the new features, and the fact that there are more options across the entire line, that's the main reasons why the R1T was picked as the top-rated electric truck. However, the story does go on to say that if they did have to pick one thing, it would be the ride and the handling and the balance between the two. So as a fairly new Rivian R1T owner and coming from probably one of the worst riding vehicles on the market, EV-wise, the Tesla Model Y Performance, not to say anything bad. I love that car. That was one of my favorite cars to drive. Not as fun as my R1T, but the luxury feel of that car isn't up to par, excuse the rhymes, of the R1T. Driving the R1T, you definitely feel a little bit more of the air cushion, where obviously I know Model Y Performance, it's got the performance shocks, it's got the performance tires. It's not really designed for the luxury feel. They could have softened it up a little bit. Let's just throw that out there. Now, obviously, that's not a truck, and that's not what we're talking about. So, kind of ignore everything that I said. But anyway, that's really cool that it is the safest truck on the road, as well as the top-rated electric truck on the road. So, how about that? So, for all of you R1T owners out there, congratulations. The next big story is Rivian is now offering their electric upgrade offer again. And basically what that allows you to do is you get up to $6,000 off any eligible models when you go to trade in your ICE-powered vehicle or hybrid. And it is only open, obviously, to U.S. and Canadian residents. And you don't even have to trade it in. You just have to get an estimate, like a trade-in estimate. So you have to tell Rivian that you're going to trade it in, get that estimate, and then you get the $6,000 off. So how awesome is that? So it does cover only the max battery configurations for the dual and tri-motor models. That is R1S and R1T. It does not include custom builds, limited editions, obviously the demo or pre-owned vehicles if they're available in your state, or any of the standard or large battery configurations. So you do have to have your order placed between January 21st and March 31st and take delivery by March 31st in order to be eligible for this. So if you are looking to upgrade your R1S or R1T, if you have a Gen 1 and are looking to upgrade it to a Gen 2, definitely take advantage of that because you still get the $7,500 tax credit. You get the $6,000 upgrade if you still have a ICE or hybrid vehicle. And if you have any referral points, you can use that as well. Obviously, like I reported last week, for this year, Rivian has changed the referral program. So now instead of getting 750 points / $750, you get 500. So it does take a little bit more off. So you pay the $500 deposit, you get the 500 points. So that's the $500 if you have 2 referrals, things like that. So pretty cool. It's great. Take advantage of that. And like I said, it is only eligible for vehicles that are in the shop. So if there's a particular configuration that you're looking for, one of the sites that I can definitely recommend you checking out is rivianroamer.com. And you will be able to find all of that. And on the site, there is a new feature added, on Rivian Roamer, there's a new feature where if you wanted to find vehicles that are eligible for that $6,000 credit, you can filter the site with that. So excellent work from Chad on getting that added. It's really cool. Speaking of Rivian Roamer and Chad, the next story that popped up was Rivian is now bringing, quote, educational drives to Seattle. So anybody that lives in the Seattle or Washington area, so if you live in Seattle or you live in Washington State, you are now able to take an educational drive with an R1T or an R1S. All you have to do is stop by the Seattle Rivian space, make an appointment to do one of these educational drives, and you'll be able to learn about the R1T and the R1S. So basically, long story short, this is how Rivian is getting around the archaic law that Washington State has, where because Rivian is not a dealer in the state, they were not able to do test drives. So now instead of doing test drives, they're doing educational drives. So that way you learn about the vehicle while driving it. So really cool thing about that is, and I know we talked a little bit about this last week, the Emerald City Rivian Club was actually a big part of that, advocating the Washington state government to get that, or they were able to help Rivian find that, let's call it a loophole. And they are actively lobbying the Washington state government to kind of get rid of that stupid law where you have to be a dealer or have a dealer license in order to do that. So very cool. If you are in the Washington area or near it, or the Seattle area, Rivian supporters will be gathering at the Washington State Capitol on February 6th to help advocate to push the legislation that will support direct sales and EV transportation. So that's pretty cool. If you want to find out more information about that, you can definitely check out the Emerald City Rivian Club. Like I said, they are not a Rivian Clubs of America chapter, but they are doing awesome things up there. So I do always want to give them a shout out whenever they're doing something cool. And then the last bit of news that I was able to find this week, Rivian is now going to be selling their EDVs to non-Amazon customers starting in February. What that means might not need to be commercial. So if you were eyeing one of those sweet Amazon delivery vans that's made by Rivian and want to get one for yourself, you may be able to purchase one from Rivian and do what you wish with it. Or if you have a fleet and want to buy more, you won't have to be Amazon in order to get them. So that's pretty cool. It is just a rumor right now. There were a couple of stories that reported on that. So the Delivery 500 and the Delivery 700 EDVs will be allegedly becoming available to non-Amazon customers. The pricing on those starts at about $83,000 for the 500, and then the 700 has a starting price of $87,000. So there's that. And anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Rivian News for this week. Let me talk a little bit about what's going on tomorrow on the 25th of January. Like I said, Rivian is opening their brand new space in downtown San Francisco on Fell Street, which is literally right in the heart of San Francisco. And they have invited the Bay Area Rivian Club as well as the Sierra Nevada Rivian Club, because they're kind of our sister club across the state over in Reno, Tahoe area, to participate in a few events that they're having. Two I can't talk about right now. I will talk about them more on Monday. But one of the big ones that's happening will be starting at 11 o'clock at Pier 30 and Pier 32, which is right underneath the Bay Bridge, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. And we're going to be gathering as many Rivians as possible and caravanning across the city from Pier 30 and 32 all the way over to the new space on Fell Street, and lining up in front of the store. And it's going to be a great photo op, and it's going to be a really cool experience for everybody to drive through the city in a giant Rivian caravan. So keep an eye out for photos from that event. And then after that will be the housewarming party at the space itself from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time, of course. And Rivian will be providing lunch for everybody there, and you'll be able to check out the new space and hang out with all of the employees that are going to be there. I have it on good authority that a few people from Rivian Palo Alto will be making their way up for the opening, so that'll be pretty cool. And Bay Area Rivian Club and Rivian Clubs of America will be doing a raffle with prizes donated by Electruck 4x4 and Rivian themselves. So we'll be raffling those off. And if you wanted to make your way down to check it out, just head on down and find anybody that's running around with Bay Area Rivian Club stuff or Rivian Clubs of America, and we'll hook you up with a ticket for the raffle and give you all the information that you could possibly need. So the caravan is starting at 11 a.m. at Pier 30 and 32. And then the housewarming party is from noon to 2 p.m. And then, if I remember correctly, starting at 4 p.m. is the Hayes Street Night Market, which Rivian is actually hosting this week. And that's going to be a great street party for hanging out and getting really good food and drinks and music and all that awesome stuff. In addition to that, I do want to point out that our friends at Thunderbolt Adventure Supply are actually doing a pop-up space directly across the street from the Rivian space. So if you're going to come down and check out the new space, head across the street and look for the Canyon Red truck with the Thunderbolt Adventure Supply logo all over it. They're going to be there with all of their new products for this year. So the new camp kitchen, the new bed sliders, and a few other surprises. So definitely go say hi to Matt and Sarah over there across the street. They're actually there starting today. Yesterday, I apologize, the 23rd, and they'll be there through the weekend. So definitely go check them out, say hi. And if you really wanted to check out their camp kitchen that slides in and out of the gear tunnel, that is the best place to go do that. So, like I said, I'll do some more reporting on that event and the weekend's events on Monday. So keep an eye out for that special edition in your podcast app of choice. All right, so now let's get into some Rivian Clubs of America events that are going to be coming up in February. The first one on the list is actually going to be the weekend of February 1st in Joshua Tree, and it's going to be hosted by the San Gabriel Valley Rivian Club. And what they're doing is they're going to be having a stargazing event in Joshua Tree National Park. So here's the event description. We will meet at the Rivian Joshua Tree charging outpost to charge up, and then we'll head into the park to explore. The roads will be easy, but nothing our vehicles can't handle. Even 21-inch wheels should have no problem. Then, later in the evening, we will return to the Rivian Joshua Tree outpost to get a special tour of the night sky by Professor Alan Sciano, a volunteer mentor astronomer for the Sky's the Limit Observatory and Nature Center in 29 Palms. He will provide a telescope that will display onto a separate TV for all to see. You will have the option of camping in the park afterwards, staying in a Joshua Tree hotel, or heading home after all the stargazing. If you are interested in attending that, you can definitely check out the events page on rivianclubs.org, or check out, actually, they're not on here yet. So I was going to say, or you can check out Halo, but we have not got that set up yet. So yeah, definitely check out rivianclubsofamerica.org/events. And you should see the Joshua Tree National Park stargazing event on there. If you'd like to RSVP, please do so through that website. The next event that we have is actually the same weekend. It is Saturday, February 1st. So if you are not in the Southern California area, this one is actually a little bit further north. And this is hosted by the Sierra Nevada Rivian Club. And they're going to be hosting a dinner at Shush Boom Brewery, say that 3 times fast, in Reno. And it's a new brewery in South Reno that has great food and drinks while being very family friendly. They even have an indoor kids play area, and food and drinks will be available for purchase. Go and hang out with the Sierra Nevada Rivian Club. So great guys over there. Ben and Matt are really good friends, and they're actually going to be here this weekend for the space opening. So lots of cross club things. I will be probably going to one of their other events later in February. More info on that once it gets posted. The next event we have is a massive event, and this one is super fun, and I've never been. I have been told that it is kind of like Burning Man for rednecks. And it is the Optima Unplugged event in Johnson Valley here in California, also known as King of the Hammers. And this year, Rivian Clubs of America is not necessarily sponsoring it, but they are co-hosting it with the Optima crew. And there is so much information to tell you about on that. You can actually check out optimaoasis.com/optima-unplugged-25, link in the show notes, to find out more information about everything that's going on there. There's going to be some awesome off-roading events. People, if you've never gone off-roading, we will have instructors there. Actually, CJ, who is the vice president for the Bay Area Rivian Club, will be doing a lot of the leading and training, as well as Gene from the St. Gabriel Valley Rivian Club. They're going to be doing a lot of the off-road training and tours and driving and all of that. Right now, if you're an RCA member, there is a discount code that you can get. There are instructions available that were sent to you by email, where you can get $50 off the $350 registration, and each additional passenger will be $200. So you and one other person can go to King of the Hammers for the entire weekend for $500. Camping, special campground just for people that purchase those tickets. And you can get more information, link in the show notes, or you can check out optimaoasis.com. Very cool. Let's see. Saturday, February 8th from 12 to 2, the Florida Rivian Club, it will be assisting with a special sneak peek of the new Miami, Florida space that's opening up. It doesn't say where it is. Anyway, there's more information if you want to check out the Florida Rivian Club. You can see the event on rivianclubs.org/events, or you can actually check out halo.group/ oops, I'm looking at the wrong club. Holy crap. I'm sorry about that. Florida. There we go. Halo.group/Florida Rivian Club. Go ahead and join the Florida Rivian Club on Halo, and you can see all of the events that Jimmy has been planning. He's got so many. There are a ton of events on there going all the way through November right now. We're only talking about February, so we're not going to get into that. Also, that same day, Saturday, February 8th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. up here in the Bay Area. The Bay Area Rivian Club is kind of co-hosting an event with the NorCal Mach-E Owners Club, the Bay Area Ford F-150 Lightning Owners Club, and Tesla Owners of East Bay. A little more information on that at a later date, but we're doing a cross-club EV car club event at Unplugged Performance. Unplugged Performance is having a special open house for us. While they're having one in general, we're going to be kind of featured there. If you want to stop by, there's going to be all types of EVs, plus Unplugged Performance, which mainly deals with Teslas, will be opening up their shop for viewing, and the whole crew will be there, so you'll be able to hang out and talk to them. I'd like to see some aftermarket Rivian stuff by them. So, if you go, definitely push them a little bit and be like, hey, let's get some Rivian stuff going from Unplugged Performance. And then last but not least, we have an event on Saturday, February 22nd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. This one is being hosted by the San Diego Rivian Club, and it is called Pure Adventure. And the event description says, hang out with other Rivian owners at Pure Project Miramar for good brews and good times. The event is kid and pet friendly, and the Pure Project will have a food truck all day for the event. So definitely check that out. That's going to be a Pure Project on Kennemar Drive in Miramar, which is in San Diego. So definitely, if you're in that area, or at least in the LA area, it's only a 2.5 hour drive. Go down, support the San Diego Rivian Club, support the Pure Project, and hang out with other Rivian owners and have a good time. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this week. Like I said, I'm keeping it short because there will be another episode on Monday, and I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be a crazy weekend starting tonight. So definitely lots to talk about on Monday. I will be also taking video of a lot of the events that are happening, and I will be posting those on the Rivian Clubs of America YouTube page. You can check that out, youtube.com/@Rivian Clubs of America. Right now, only the podcast is up there. It does get syndicated to YouTube. The podcast now also gets syndicated to Amazon Music, Spotify, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and any podcast player that you may have, because a lot of them scrape the Apple Podcast directory, but then it is also on podcastindex.org, which is an open source podcasting aggregator. And then that filters it out to pretty much every podcast player you can possibly think of between Apple and Podcast Index. So you can find this podcast everywhere. But anyway, so that's going to do it for today. And I hope you all enjoyed this really quick episode. First off, thank you everybody for the incredible feedback that I have received on the last episode from last week. I didn't think anybody would listen to me, to be completely honest. So thank you everybody for listening and downloading the podcast. It's been a lot of fun. We had over 100 people, 100 downloads, and countless numbers of listens. I'm hoping now that it's on Spotify and Audible, because we do have that available in the in-car entertainment with our Rivians, that you'll be able to listen on there without having to use your phone or anything else. So that was one of the main reasons behind that. And so hopefully we'll get some more listeners. Thank you everybody for the feedback as well. One alteration that I'd like to throw out there from last week. We were talking about the charging adapters. I would like to point out that the use of the A to Z NAX adapter or if you have the Electron one, is not authorized by Rivian. If anything does happen while you're charging your R1 using one of those adapters, you are fully responsible for it, and it will void the warranty of your vehicle if the cause of whatever happens was determined to be because of the adapter. The only adapter that you are able to use is the NACS adapter that Rivian sells now for $250, I believe, or if you got one for free from Rivian for purchasing your R1. So I just wanted to put that out there. Correction. No, it did not come from Rivian. Just needed to make sure that that was out there and that everybody is informed. So that'll wrap it up for this week, like I've been trying to do for the past couple of minutes. So thank you for listening. This has been the second episode of the Rivian Clubs of America podcast. As always, I am Zach Winnick, Community Director of the Bay Area Rivian Club and Tech Team Co-Lead for Rivian Clubs of America. Be sure to check out the new podcast website at podcast.rivianclubs.org. If you are not a Rivian Clubs of America member, definitely check out rivianclubs.org. We have memberships starting at $60 a year, different plans for different time lengths. You get some awesome benefits for being a Rivian Clubs of America member, including a 1-year free membership to Tread Lightly and a whole bunch of other discounts and really cool stuff. So definitely be sure to check that out, rivianclubs.org. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you all on Monday.